In Tur Abdin too, people have every hope in Europe. Tur Abdin means Mountain of the Servants of God. A Christian minority has been living here since the 4th century AD, whose people still speak Aramaic, once the language of Christ. Centuries of confrontations with Islam and 2 decades of battles between Kurdish rebels and the Turkish army have caused many Kurds to flee, often abroad. In the last few years, a few of them returned. Syrian Christians have always been subject to suppression and persecution. The worst period was around 1915. Many of them were killed, together with hundreds of thousands of Armenians and other Christians. This dark page in Turkish history is still officially denied. Many Turks don't even know of the existence of Assyrians or Arameans, as these Orthodox Christians are called. Turkey does not recognize them as a religious minority, and not as an ethnic minority either. After many years of war between Turks and Kurds, nearly all Christians have left the area. Most of them now live in Western Europe. Now that Turkey may be joining the EU, their hope of recognition is growing. Arendt and his family lived for years as refugees in Switzerland. Now he has returned with his wife and children, and in spite of all the problems, he is all optimism.
Diese Weinberge haben wir von unseren Vorfahren bekommen und die geben keine Früchte mehr. Und wir probieren Neues zum Pflegen und Aufbauen. Der Weinberg, der braucht Pflege, wie Mensch, der braucht auch Pflege. Ohne Pflege geht also kaputt. Das ist ein Stück von unserem Leben. Vorher waren alles diese Weinberge volle Leute mit Arbeit, und die traurige Geschichte ist, dass sogar die Verwandten, der Bruder, jeder in ein anderes Land gegangen, und sie haben sich zerstreut, und natürlich das ist eine bitterliche Geschichte, dass jeder von denen vermisst seine Heimat. Also wie ich, dass ich wollte wieder nach Heimat. Also ich sage mir selbst, wo sind meine Brüder, dass wir hier gearbeitet, wo sind meine Onkel, meine Dorfbewohner. Jeder von denen habe ich auf dieser Straße begrüßt, und jetzt sind alles weg. Und also wir hoffen für einen Frieden auf der ganzen Welt und auch in unserer Heimat, in unserer Türkei, dass wieder gut geht, dass wieder aufgebaut wird, dass unser Volk wieder zurückkommt, wieder diese Arbeit macht und wieder glücklich zu werden. Also das ist mein Wunsch.
At one time, there were about 1,000 monasteries and churches in Tur Abdin. Only a few of them have survived, and of the hundreds of thousands of Christians who lived here, less than 2,000 are still living here. Only 10 years ago, the Turkish government wanted to close down the last remaining monasteries. But the Christians of Tur Abdin are receiving a great deal of support now from family and friends abroad. They are continually promoting the observance of human rights in this area.
It will be wonderful if Turkey will be with the European community. This will be beneficial for both Turkey and Europe as well. And for our Christian minority, it will be wonderful. And of course, we as church, we pray and we wish that Europe will take Turkey our Christianity comes from the early centuries. And it's important to establish our human rights situations, especially to maintain our Syriac tradition, the Syriac language, the Aramaic language, which was spoken by Jesus Christ. It's very important to maintain its tradition here. And with the European Union, it will be easier to maintain this tradition. And I think this tradition, it's not just our task to maintain this. I think it's task of the world. I think it's important that we concentrate how to establish our future together, taking lesson from all these sufferings. And in this region, we have our hope for the future. If you don't have the hope, it's not easy to live where you are.